This is a deal you can't find.
Could be a fake watch from 40 years ago, I don't know.
We have a confirmed winner.
When they do discontinue something like this, it's bound to hit the moon again.
Everything with Rolex that has green on it, it brings a premium.
We pride ourselves in doing things the correct, legal way.
It's a Daytona from 45 years ago. It's worth significant money.
You're a terrible leader.
That's massive.
That's the first sign of trouble. Diamonds are all aftermarket.
Everything that we sell, we stand behind.
I would probably blindly buy it for $250.
Before we start this week's episode, I do have a special announcement to make. The Rolex sweepstakes. We have a confirmed winner. Congratulations to Justin in Oklahoma. He simply bought one hoodie for $85 on our website, and he will be walking away with a Rolex Explorer Polar Dial. So congratulations. Given that Justin lives in Oklahoma, I did get a chance to speak with him. He is actually going to come to the store to pick up the watch. He'll be here later this week. We're going to have him meet the team, take him out to lunch, make sure the watch is sized to his wrist. So it should be a really fun experience. Thank you for everyone who joined and participated in the sweepstakes. Hopefully we'll have many more to come. But congratulations, Justin. Take a look. We're going to call the sweepstakes winner. This gentleman bought a sweater or hoodie for $85 and now on a Rolex.
Hello.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. It's Jimmy from Grand Caliber. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, dude. Since I got that email.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Very surprised, man, but super psyched for sure.
I'm excited for you. Before I jump in any further, I want to respect your privacy. Are you okay with this being recorded for like YouTube content or?
Oh, yeah, that's fine, man.
Perfect. Well, I want to say congratulations. I have your watch literally 5 feet from me. It looks beautiful. It looks brand new. I want to coordinate with you on how you want to receive the watch. Since you're in Oklahoma, I didn't know if you want us to ship you the watch or if you want to come down, pick it up, and we kind of, host you for a day, take you out to lunch, meet the team, things like that.
It would be super cool to come down there and hang out with you guys and check out the place, that you guys have built and stuff. I watch a lot of y'all's content and stuff, so that would be super cool if I could actually make it down there.
For the entire team, we're open Monday through Friday, so we would love to coordinate that and, again, take you out to lunch.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Did you receive your hoodie yet, by the way?
I did receive my hoodie.
Hey, what are your thoughts?
My wife's making fun of me. I'm like, look how cool, this is a great hoodie, and she's like, what? And she, you know what I mean? I was like, it's awesome, dude. So I've been rocking that thing and really liking that hoodie. I'm really impressed with the quality of it. I was super psyched to wear it. I've been wearing it a lot. My wife's been making fun of me, and then I got the email saying that I won. I was like, wow, man, this is pretty awesome. You know what I mean?
You just won.
I didn't even plan on winning or anything. I was just trying to, give you guys some support, get a cool hoodie out of it, wear it around, and I was like, it'd be great if I won, but if I didn't, I'd still be wearing that hoodie around. You know what I mean? Because it's a pretty quality item. I like it.
Well, I appreciate the feedback. I love that you enjoy our hoodies. I think a lot of people will be surprised by the quality of it. I think at the price point.
Oh, yeah, I was super impressed with it. I was like, wow, this is a nice
legit.
hoodie.
It's legit.
It's legit, yeah.
That's right.
It's definitely legit. It's very well made. It feels awesome. I've been wearing it.
Awesome. Well, not only did you get a hoodie for $85, you also got a freaking $10,000 watch here. So.
I know, man. Holy moly, man! I can't believe it. It's definitely. As soon as I read that email, man, I think my heart rate went up to 150 or something like that, because I was I almost passed out.
Yeah, Happy New Year. I hope you had a good New Year's.
Great. I'm a big fan of your show, by the way. I got all my buddies watching it.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'd like to ask you a question. It'll only take a minute.
No, of course. Take your time.
45 years. Thank you very much. 45 years ago, there was an old man in the community, we named him Uncle Phil because everybody used to go to his house and eat or whatever. he had a friend of his that was a watch collector.
Okay.
I go into his cabinet to get a glass of water, and I see this old mint condition Rolex Cosmograph. Only had one screw down crown.
Okay.
And I said, Phil, what are you doing with this? He says, well, John wants to sell it. I says, well, how much does he want for it? He says, $250. There was no box, no papers. It was definitely a Rolex. And like I said, it only had one screw down crown.
Yeah.
So I had just gotten engaged. My wife wanted me to buy me an engagement present. I said, buy me this Rolex. She buys me the Rolex. It never kept time. Every year, I'm sending it back to Rolex. I paid then $112 for them, which is nothing to service it. It's 45 years ago.
Right.
40 years ago. And basically, it never kept time.
Okay.
Fast forward a number of years, I speak to this big-time watch collector. I saw the article in a magazine. I called him up. I talked to him. He said the reason why it never kept time is because it had a zodiac movement. It did not have a Rolex movement, and Rolex didn't know how to work on it. I said, okay, fine. So in the meantime, I got 9 kids. I'm strapped for money. I sell it to my buddy for $300. He sells it to his buddy for $350. And I still got it.
Okay.
My question to you, does this thing still have value?
I would need to inspect it. Good chance. Okay, here's the deal. Your friend may have said it has a zodiac movement simply because it has a Valjean movement in it, which Valjean movements were used across the board on a lot of brands. So it's possible he was misspoken, or it's possible because the movements have been used in so many different brands, it could have simply been damaged and replaced with a generic movement, which heavily devalues the watch. But I'd have to see before I even say anything. So if you have pictures of it,
I don't have any pictures of it. Basically, I just want to ask you, Craig, Marco, excuse me, if it's worth it for me to find this guy and get this watch back.
Maybe it could be. Obviously, I don't want to tell you anything without having a set of eyes on it, because who knows?
Right.
It could be a fake watch from 40 years ago. I don't know.
Right.
I can't advise on something without looking at it, but I could tell you that, if it's all correct and it's a Daytona from 45 years ago, it's worth significant money.
Okay, so ballpark, because I did see a picture on your website that you had one in the showcase without the 3 screw-down crowns.
Well, Daytonas all have the screw-down crowns, except for the earlier variations, which have 2 pump pushers and the crown.
Exactly. That's what I had.
Yeah, for pump pusher.
Ballpark, what do those things sell for today?
I mean, if it's a non-Newman, for example, let's say it's not a Paul Newman, it could go from 35 to 60, and then Paul Newmans can go from 150 to 300. Just, again, everything is condition based. If the watch and the dial and everything is good.
Does it say Paul Newman on it?
No. It's going to be a certain dial variation. Best thing I could tell you is research what a Paul Newman Daytona is. Get yourself educated before, you obviously look at this watch again. Because, like I said, you could have something significant in value, where it's worth getting it, professionally restored. And you could also have the watch professionally serviced. I have the correct, watchmakers for that type of job and so forth.
Right, that I'm aware of, right.
Right.
So I've been hearing this from all my boys growing up, like, Dad had a Rolex and he sold it. I've had enough of hearing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, get the watch back. So almost, you don't have to hear it. I'm just wondering, is it worth going after? Let's say it's not a Rolex movement in there. Does that change the value?
I mean, if you're talking about $350, I would probably blindly buy it for $350. Worst case scenario, I got a fake watch. Best case scenario, you get a very special piece that could be worth 6 figures. So I don't know. I don't know what he's going to want to sell it back to you for. I mean, being that it's been 45 years, he may have discovered what it's worth. If you can get pictures of it, that's a great starting point to figure out what it's worth. And if you have to buy it blind, I would say good chances are 45 years ago. What is that? 19. That's in the 80s. Right?
Right. It wasn't new then. It was old.
No, early.
Was
70s.
Yeah.
70s. Yeah. So that would be back in the 70s. So, yeah. I mean, I think there's a good chance it's worth something. I think it's definitely worth, minimum without just in conversation based off what you told me, it could still be worth. at the very minimum, 15,000, 10,000. It's all depending on what dial it has. You know, if the dial is original and it has a fake movement or aftermarket movement or other movement, you still have value in the case. You still have value in the dial, the hands, and the parts. You know, I've bought watches in the past that had movement issues that I've corrected and so on. And, you know, obviously you're going to pay significantly less. The movement makes a big difference. But again, if it's a Paul Newman, it doesn't mean much. But if it's a regular, let's say, you know, plain Jane looking vintage Daytona that have a common dial, then without a correct movement, it could be worth 10 grand. With the correct movement, 45 to 60. It just depends.
Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. I hope I hope it works out for you. And you know, if you do happen to get pictures, I'm more than happy to give you my direct number. You're welcome to shoot me some pictures of it, and we can go from there.
Thank you so much, Marco. Take care of yourself and Happy New Year. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you so much. That could be interesting. Guys trading watches 45 years ago for a couple $100 can turn into a very much a six-figure situation in today's dollars. So those are the coolest stories whenever you hear people just handing off watches that didn't mean shit. They're half worn, they're half torn apart. Sounds like it's already missing a pusher. Only gonna make sense when we have the watch in front of us or pictures where we can at least start dissecting what's going on. But I'm happy to educate them and let them know what they have. You know, maybe they can get a big payday out of it. I'm happy to still buy the watch at a fair market value. I'm not trying to be in a position to sneak the watch out of anybody's hands. It's better for me. Just pay what it's worth and get them happy. They sat on it for so long. They deserve to walk away with a pleasant surprise. So it almost feels like that those guys on Antique Roadshow where they're like, yo, your watch is worth 400 grand and the guy faints. Like that would be fun to be doing that, you know, just to tell somebody, hey, your watch is worth a lot more than you thought. And hey, great news, I'm going to buy it. So whatever.
All right, you guys have heard me talk a lot about YouTube content here in 2023 and how we're going to make it better. One of the things I believe that will make this show a lot better is providing more context about Grand Caliber and what happens behind the scenes. And you've seen her in our videos quite a bit, but we've probably never actually formally introduced you. So this is Deja. She is in charge of all of the operations here. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Deja. I started here back in June, so a lot has changed. I'm sure you guys have seen just over the course of the past 6 months. And so hopefully we can make this a weekly bit where Jimmy and I sit down for a sec and just give you guys a little bit more insight about the back end of things, some challenges that we face, some things that excite us about the business, and just so you guys can see what's going on.
When you started, I think your title was actually head of client relations, right?
Yes, correct.
And then recently, to start this year, I think the business has really scaled quite a bit since you started. And so now taking over all of operations, first and foremost, how has that been?
It's been interesting. I mean, like I said, Grand Caliber has changed a lot in the past 6 months. We've hired some new people. We've had people that have gone different directions. And so it's definitely been interesting seeing how everyone's personalities mesh, because that does affect the sales of the business. I mean, at the end of the day, operations can only move as quickly as our sales team moves. And so we have to make sure that we're all on the same page so that we can sell as many watches as quickly as we can, really.
I'd argue that when you started, the volume of watches we sold was significantly less than what it is now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, you know, to give some context, you know, Deja, you do all of the shipping, the inventory, the thank you cards, reaching out to clients to confirm shipping address. What else?
Absolutely. So usually I'm sending you guys your shipping labels if you're a consignment client that's sending something into us. I always let you guys know when we get something from you, when it's going to be uploaded to the website. We do handle all of the incoming inventory, making sure that Marco gets everything he needs to authenticate everything, getting things over to our marketing and photography team so that we can get things on the website in a timely manner. We also do have clients that come in day to day who need different things from us. And we do also have a full service department as well. So if you guys ever need any watch service or polishes, we handle that too. And we have a system and some great watchmakers that we work with so we can get that stuff done for you quickly. We are definitely busy all the time. Even if we're not selling watches, there are still 1,000,001 other things to do.
So while taking over this role, because everyone knows our story, right? It's we're building a company from the ground up in an industry that, in my opinion, is very outdated. And I can vent to you guys all about this industry in 100 different ways, but what's been the biggest challenge for you from an operational standpoint?
Like I said before, our goal is definitely to sell as many watches as quickly as we can, but this is a business in which there is a lot of paperwork involved, and it should be involved. And so sometimes it is difficult to keep up with the sales team. Oftentimes we'll have watches that they source and sell before I ever even get an invoice that we bought something from someone. And so if it's already sold to another client and we have to create an invoice for that client, but I have no information about who we bought it from, how much we bought it for.
Serial numbers,
that's a huge thing. That slows us down a lot because we can't just ship stuff out with no information on it, you know?
I think some people might be surprised by that comment where things sell before we even receive them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's, just to add some clarity there for viewers who don't know, a lot of times clients will trade in a watch or they want to sell their watch and we buy it. We want to sell those watches as quickly as possible, right? Obviously accounting for margins and things like that. But a lot of times we're able to use our platform, not only our dealer network, but our social media outlets to sell a watch before we even receive it. Now, it's not an official sale yet until the watches come in, they get authenticated, and then processed. But it doesn't mean our sales team can't reach out to potential clients, to potential dealers, and just kick the tire around.
Absolutely. That's why I've seen a couple comments recently. You guys have noticed that we haven't had a ton of watches on our website. That's because this happens all the time. Before we even get photos of a watch, if Vic has a client who's been looking for a bluesy and Marco has a client who wants to consign one, boom, a deal is done before we ever even receive the watch.
All the time. I mean, I think yesterday we brought in 15 watches and 14, because Marco brought in 8 himself.
Yes, he did.
And I think 3 of them sold by the time they got here.
Yes.
Obviously, we make our policy and procedures to authenticate, because everything that we sell, we stand behind. But that doesn't mean that, we don't have clients who already have a list of watches they want to buy. So something is on its way in, Victor, Jai, Alfred, Marco might call and say, hey, FYI, we're going to be getting this in. We have some pictures of what we're expecting to get in. They'll negotiate price, and by the time it gets here, we authenticate it. Looks good. Deal's done.
On that same note, something that can be a little difficult on the operations side of things is that oftentimes we are selling dealer to dealer. Now, we are a gray market dealer, but we pride ourselves in doing things the correct legal way, which can be, it slows the process down sometimes and can be a little frustrating when people are not used to the full correct legal process. So that said, anytime we sell to another dealer, we by law cannot sell a watch in the state of Texas without charging sales tax. We can't do that. If we're selling to a dealer, they can provide us a resale certificate that exempts them from paying the sales tax because they are buying it wholesale, and at some point it's going to be sold to a retail client and the government will collect their tax money. A lot of dealers are not used to having to provide us this document.
Yeah.
We have made an executive decision that we're not going to ship a watch unless we have the proper paperwork, because once you get the watch, you have no incentive to then go back and get us the paperwork we need, But that said, little things like that, if one of the sales reps really needs a deal done quickly, they don't want to lose a deal behind a piece of paper, but at the same time, if we're selling a $160,000 watch, that's a lot of sales tax that Grand Caliber is going to be responsible for if we don't get the proper documentation we need.
I have this image in my head where it's like the sales team is driving this car, the sports car, and they're just pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
And then everything in operations is just holding on for dear life in the back. Yeah. And it's like, because obviously we want to do business the right way.
Yeah.
And this is something that frustrates me quite a bit, is because this industry is so outdated.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of deals, there's a lot of money that we pass up on just because the transaction doesn't make sense. There's people that say, hey, ship it to me, don't worry about sales tax, I'm a dealer, and then they send us some type of document that notates that, hey, this is their business.
Right.
It's like their EIN.
And then we looked their business up, and
It's inactive?
It's inactive because it was shut down by the government for fishy reasons. And you say that you resell watches, but your business is called Bob's Fishing Boat.
Yeah.
You know,
We see that quite a bit where people that aren't even in the industry, whether they sell cars or they sell, they're a retail store of some sort.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I have a business and here's my EIN. Don't charge me sales tax. And that's unfortunately not how it works. And, we may be the early adopters on this. We may be late to the game. I don't know. I talk to a lot of gray market dealers, and it's like a black hole. Like no one knows. And so from our interpretation of the law, this is what we're going to do. But at the same time, it puts a lot of pressure on our operations team because, we sell, I think last month we did 130 watches in the month. And this is something that's steadily climbing with the addition of Chris, our new hire. He's really leading that sales team. We think we can sell probably 200 watches with ease from just the existing leads that we have.
Absolutely.
And that puts a ton of pressure on the operations team because it's a 2-person team right now.
Yeah, me and Sutton.
Yeah.
Hi,
and
Sutton.
So I try to help where I can as well. But all the thank you cards you guys get, all the packaging you guys receive, all the little things, the customer service things from confirming the shipping address, reaching out with tracking numbers, making sure the watches are pulled, being confirmed that we received your watch.
Letting you know that you have money coming your way.
All of that is Deja and Sutton as
Absolutely.
well. So, well, we hope to do this, hopefully once a week, give you guys a little bit more glimpse behind the scene of what actually happens here in the business. You'll still get your watch content from Marco, Victor, Alfred, and Jai. Hopefully we'll get more traveling this year as well, some watch shows. We're really excited to actually pump a lot more resources into the YouTube platform, which you'll see. But this is a start, getting a little bit more behind the scenes here at Grand Caliber. So hopefully we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that again. 5
you're
minutes
good, man.
before you walked in.
You're good. No worries, man. I know it was last minute too. I was texting, I want to say Margo or somebody. I don't know if it was even him.
Okay.
So I'm like, let me just give him a call. I was
Okay.
all right, screw it. And
Yeah.
the
No
answer,
problem.
so it worked out.
All right.
What size is this?
That's a 40 millimeter.
Okay.
The new Air King. It's around that same price point that you're looking at. 2018
Okay.
Blue Dial with Jubilee bracelet. We just got it touched up.
Okay.
It looks almost brand new
Okay.
for $10,500.
Okay.
And they go for that year goes for about $12,500 to $13,000
Okay.
other places.
Yeah,
So.
if I can see that.
Yeah, let me go grab that for
Appreciate
you.
it, man.
This is a deal you can't find.
You just got that.
Just got it back. Just got it touched up a little bit.
Yeah, this is nice.
That's probably the best deal we have in this case right now. It's not even on the website yet. If you want something kind of in the middle and you maybe didn't want to go up to past 10, we do have this one, which is a 39 millimeter, same blue dial, and it's discontinued.
Okay.
And that's also a good possibility as well.
I don't know about that one.
Okay, cool.
No,
Yeah, so
about that one.
you can tell as soon as you look at it.
Can I see that one by any chance?
This one?
Yeah, for sure. Sweet.
I listed it as kind of pre-owned because he did tell me he wore it twice, but
Oh,
if you
shit.
look at it,
Twice.
it looks
Nothing.
brand new. And this one's 95.
It's a box and papers too, which is
Yep, this one's brand new. And it's the new Air King with the crown guards. My favorite thing about it is the
green.
yellow crown and the green.
Yeah, that's different because a
They
lot
don't
of it's just
ever-
all white.
Yeah, they don't ever do that.
Now it's making it even harder.
If you wanted a deal,
Uh-huh.
I would say that one's for sure. If
Right.
you want a great look with a newer watch, this one's definitely an option.
So that's 2022. This is 2018.
That's 2018 here.
Can't even tell the difference.
No.
Oh, that one fits.
Until they come.
That's perfect. That's perfect. What do you do on a day to day? Like, what is this your first watch or is
Yeah.
this?
That's my first watch.
Okay.
I'm a sales rep for Southern Bakers, so we
Okay.
do with liquor.
I don't think you can go wrong with either decision you make. At this point, it only comes down to do you want to spend 10.5 or 9.5? That's it.
And it's just $1,000 difference.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's it.
And you said this around it is white gold.
Yep.
I might just take that one.
Okay.
And can we resize it?
Yeah, I can do everything for you right
Yeah,
now.
cool, man.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess
Awesome.
we'll just do that.
Which one are you taking, Alfred, if you're in his shoes?
You
I
take that one, right?
no, I'd probably take that one.
Yeah,
I'd probably
I'd
that
take
one.
the Air King too.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a little different.
Okay.
You know, I like the sports models a little bit better. You know, I would love to upsell you on this one just to make a little bit more money, but
Yeah.
that's not how I like to do things. If I was in your shoes, I love that just because of you never see that yellow with the green on the dial like that instead of an Air King.
That's more attractive than that.
Okay. I mean, listen.
I'll take this.
Yeah,
Man.
there you
I'll
go.
take that.
That's great, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, man.
It is pretty, man.
Yeah.
What made you want to get your first watch?
So I've always just followed you guys before. Got to change the name and everything and all that. And I always watched different just theaters like Roman and all that.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. I was like, one day I need to get it. And then my cousin, once a couple months ago, he's like, he wants to get one this year for his birthday. It's like, shit, no, I'm just getting one. Before I forget. Sorry. I'm going to do it.
Hopefully, I'm thinking it should fit pretty good. Is it too tight?
No, I think it's fine.
I'm gonna micro adjust it out just to see how that feels for you. Actually, you know, I'm just gonna add a link because I don't want your arm to swell up.
Okay.
And it'd be like super tight.
Yeah. All right, big ass difference.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for the business. Hopefully, it's a long relationship.
For sure, man.
What's up, everybody? I hope you're enjoying the content. I want to try something new. I know there's been a lot of change in the market, you know, in the last couple of years, and there's not a real way to gauge pricing. So if you guys want to start leaving comments below for a few watches that you guys want to see featured in each week's videos, I want to grab a couple pieces, 2-3 pieces each week, talk about then and a now, where the market was then versus where it is now, and possibly where we think the market may go from here. First, let's start with the 228-235, which is a Rolex 40mm day date, rose gold featuring the anniversary green dial. This watch reached the peak right around $90,000-$95,000, some even the $100,000 mark. This watch today is selling around $50,000 to $55,000, depending on year, condition, box, and papers. But to me, that just lets me know the potential of this watch. You have a solid gold piece. Anytime Rolex does something special, whether it's a red letter, whether it's an anniversary, it tends to do well over time. I truly think this will be a special piece later on down the road. Collectors, I mean, it's definitely a piece to have in your inventory. Not sure if you guys seen this watch on a wrist, but compared to other bracelets in the market, President bracelet's almost second to none. It's a combination of sport model oyster bracelet and a dress model Jubilee band. You kind of get best of both worlds. You have a high polished center links, which gives it a little bit of pop. If you're a person like me, I'm standing across the room, I'm constantly checking people's wrists. And when I see that President band, it stands out to me. You know, they have different models. So if rose gold is a little bit too loud for you, they also make this version in white gold. Even though this watch has dipped so much in price, I truly think later down the road, this watch will be going up in value. I mean, you have to think, even if it doesn't reach the peak prices before, you're still bound to see an increase in price. To me, it's a piece that you can't go wrong with. There's been speculation in the past of Rolex discontinuing this model. It's not discontinued yet, which is great. You can still pick those up and it hasn't driven that price up. But when they do discontinue something like this, it's bound to hit the moon again. All right, second, we have this 116500LN Black Dial Daytona. Most would argue that Daytona represents the flagship model of Rolex. A lot of history behind this watch here. Back in the peak of 2021, and when I say peak, I'm talking earlier 2021, somewhere around March, April, this watch here had reached ballpark of $38,000 to $40,000. Today, you can pick these up as low as $24,000 or $25,000, depending on year and model, if it's complete set or not, which is truly unbelievable. I mean, if you look back at the high of things, you had OPs, which are, to argue, one of the most simple function that Rolex produces, and now you can pick up a ceramic Daytona for those prices. If you are able to buy, in a position to buy one of these things, I think long term, it's gonna do wonders. Right now, it's a 1-1 reference. If you look and notice that most of Rolex sport models have changed to 1-2 references, it tells me that being one of the last 1-1 reference models on the market is bound for a change. Rolex has not switched up the Daytona in the recent years. It's only a matter of time before they try something new. Again, this is just a brief introduction of something that I'm trying to start out with. I want to get some feedback from you guys. I want to start getting more active on the channel. If you guys have any type of inventory that you want to see featured, want us to break down, or myself elaborate more on where the market is then, where it is now, possibly where things are going to go in the future, I'm more than happy to assist and help with any questions that you have. Hope you guys enjoy.
If you guys want to know a lot more about the behind the scenes at Grand Caliber, follow me on my Instagram, lifeof_Jimmy Choo. This is a way for the YouTube viewers to get a little bit more insight on what's happening behind the scenes. So Matt, has there been anything that people have been asking that they want to really know about at Grand Caliber?
Sure. So since Alfred kind of stepped up his game and dressed up last week, some of the viewers had a few comments about the way he looked. And in the past, there's been several comments about, we sell luxury watches. Why are you wearing a hoodie? This and that. Shouldn't you implement some sort of dress code? So I think you might do well with addressing that.
This has been an ongoing question for like the last year, right? Like this is even before Grand Caliber. This was back in the TPG days. Like, why don't you guys dress up? And I've been going back and forth on this quite a bit because I do think that, if you look clean and presentable, like a lot of people wear t-shirts that are non-branded, non-logo, neutral colors with jeans. I think that looks nice. Do you really need to wear a suit and tie to sell luxury watches? I don't think so. But I do think it is very important how you portray yourself to the general public. There's been a lot of heat on Alfred, and I want to address that first and foremost, because if you guys saw his last video, he is dressing up a lot better. I mean, he's coming in with shirt and tie, sport coat or a sweater. I mean, he's dressing up very well. And what annoys the living crap out of me is when people comment about how loose the fit is or how he's trying too hard. There's a lot of people that gave him crap for what he was wearing, and now we start the year, he's trying to be better, and you're still pooping on him. Like, make up your goddamn mind, people. Like, that's not fair to criticize someone who's trying to get better and actively trying to get better. That's my first gripe. But in terms of the dress code, we did implement a dress code at Grand Caliber. I have wanted to change the dress code for quite some time, but if you think you can just put in a dress code and hope that people do it, then you're a terrible leader. Like, you have to have people in place that are going to help make sure whatever you implement gets done, right? It's like anything. You have to develop habits. And without me being in that sales room 24/7, I didn't feel comfortable rolling something out without someone kind of helping oversee it, making sure it gets implemented. Now, some people might say Marco. Yes, Marco is a leader here. He makes a lot of decisions, but Marco spends a lot of his time filming YouTube content, traveling, going to pick up watches, and working with individual clients. He's not in that sales room 24/7. That's why he's not a sales manager either. So when you want to do these bigger changes, you want to think about how you're going to roll it out. If you're just going to go in there and say, hey, do this, do that, you're a terrible leader. What you want to do is find ways to get buy-in from your team. Okay, guys, we need to address the dress code. What do you guys think is acceptable? You already know in your head what you want accomplished, but the goal is to get the team to buy into that. Because when they buy into it, you can keep them accountable. So we did implement a dress code. It's a fairly wide range. It can be business professional, shirt, tie, dress pants, suit. It can be business casual, which is what I like to wear. So, jeans, a polo, a dress shirt with a sweater or something over it. And it could also be casual to a certain extent. So anything that's Grand Caliber branded apparel, which we do have a little bit of, the rest is coming in later this week. Anything that's Grand Caliber branded apparel, no problem. Now, if it's not Grand Caliber apparel and it's not relaxed or business casual and business professional, then there are some guidelines. You can wear jeans as long as there's no holes. You can wear khakis, you can wear polos, you can wear t-shirts, but the t-shirts have to be neutral color and there can't be any logo on it. Same with the polo. You can wear a golf polo, you can wear a regular polo, but it can't be these crazy colors, it can't be crazy patterns. And when we brought this up with our team, after we got buy-in from our team, they didn't have any pushback. They actually all agreed, which makes making changes so much better. So yes, in 2023, you're going to see a much better appearance from Grand Caliber dress code wise. But when you have a lot of things to change in a business, when you're changing the foundation of a business, you cannot go in and make all of these different changes, because if you do, people are going to shut down, because all you're doing is telling them, do this, do that, do this, do that. No, you want to address the most important things first, which at that point in time, was other things, And now that we've cleaned a lot of that up, we're going to address the dress code. So it'll look better at Grand Caliber, but what I will say is, guys, you guys can come after me if you want. I can take it. And I'm not saying other people can't, but I have thick skin. I know what I want to do when I lead this team. But don't hate on employees who are trying to get better. Like, if they try to do something, you got to give them props. Now, if they say things and they don't deliver on it, or they completely pivot, that is conserved constructive criticism. I have no problem there. If Alfred says this, or Marco says that, or Jai says that, and then they totally do something opposite, that's all fair game. But don't beat up on someone that's trying to actually improve themselves. We'll do this every week. I'm going to dive into some topic of Grand Caliber. It could be, the biggest mistake at Grand Caliber. It can be the biggest challenge. It can be how do we work our leads? How do we delegate our leads? It could be commission and comp structure, whatever you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. But I answer a lot of these things on my Instagram at lifeof_Jimmy Choo. So feel free to follow me there. But yeah, we'll do this every week. Let me know what you guys want to hear.
Welcome back, everyone. We're doing the showroom showcase this week. Happy New Year's. Wait, it's already way past New Year's. God, I'm an idiot. All right, welcome back to another showroom showcase. Today we got also another great group of watches. First one I want to show you is one that I think a lot of people don't really actually know a lot about. So let's take a look right over here. It's a Datejust, which I actually conveniently I have on. But this is a Datejust 2. So back in, I think it was 2018 or 2017, they went to what you see on Datejust now. So this is called the Datejust 2. So it's the older reference. It's a 116334. Basically has a little thicker case, and the bezel is more like a Skydweller bezel. It has a little bit more of a deeper cut throughout the fluted bezel right there. But overall, just a little bit thicker of a case, still a 41 millimeter watch, and it was only offered in an oyster bracelet. So a lot of people don't really know that, but you can tell once you see the two. There's a big difference between a Datejust and a Datejust 2. But yeah, it's a bit different. Also, you save a little bit of money being an older watch. We have this one right here. It's a 2013, and we have it available for $10,500. Comes with box, papers, complete set, even has the brown hang tag. So yeah, cool piece to pick up, but yeah, something you just don't really notice. I don't see them very often come through the showroom. But if you are into a little bigger watches, as far as, a little bit more thickness, this is gonna be one for you, especially with the fluted bezel. It kind of has a little bit more pop to it. But yeah, let me know what you think about these older Datejusts. And the next one we're gonna go with, let's just go with one of the newest heavy hitters you see out on the market, the Sprite. And this one's conveniently in Jubilee, which is my favorite configuration. I really like the Jubilee on these GMTs. This one is currently brand new, and we have it available for $24,000. It's a 2022 model. But yeah, great piece. I'm curious to see what people, think about it in the comments. We haven't really talked about this one yet, but I know a lot of people don't like it. I personally think it's cool. I know some people don't like it because the heritage of Rolex has never offered something like this, and I think that's kind of, BS. I think Rolex should be forever changing and offer new stuff. So 50 years from now, it will be vintage, and it could be something to look back on if they still have something like this. So personally, I like it. I would totally wear it, other than, I'm not really a left-handed person, so I think it'd be a little wonky, but it'd be fun to wear a new watch and have to get used to something new. With the date window being on the left side, I think that would just be kind of fun. And it's just a cool color combination. I mean, green and black is cool. So everything with Rolex, if it has green on it, it brings a premium, and this one's not shy of it, retailing around like 11 something thousand and reselling for 24,000. So still bringing in a lot of money. Let me know what you think about these Sprites, if it's something you would wear or if it's something you absolutely hate. And tell me why you hate it. I mean, as left-handed people, let's discriminate them. What else we got? Where are we going next? I think we're going over here. One of my grail pieces. This is a fan favorite of my own. And my key doesn't work anymore. AP 15400 ST with the white silver dial. This is just a gorgeous piece. I mean, the bracelet speaks volumes. You can see it from across the room. It's kind of like Rolex with their Jubilee. It's one of those things that when you see it, you know exactly what it's going to be. And just being a Royal Oak overall, just always holds a huge conversation piece. I don't see a ton of them out and about, and every time I do, I like to interrupt the people and see what's going on. It's a crazy piece. Personally, I think it's funny. I always like white dials over blue dials, and I know blue dials always bring the premium, but in my mind, I think you're getting a bargain with this. We are asking $35,000. It's a 2018 complete box papers, the complete set. So I think that's a steal of a deal. I mean, you're saving like roughly 10 grand with going with a white dial over a blue dial. And I personally think as far as AP goes, the white silver dial, it pops a lot more. So I think it's a little bit more wearable. I think you can go with more outfits personally. And it's one that every time you look at the dial, it just gives you a little bit more pop. So let me know what you think. Are you going blue dial? I would always go white dial, but that's just me. Let's go with something a little more entry level. We got the Tudor Pepsi. Everyone knows Tudor, famously made by Rolex. They certify their watches. It's a great, great piece. Unfortunately, it's a little thick for my wrist. I can't really rock these. I mean, I think it's a 14.5 millimeter thickness, whereas like a sub or a GMT is usually around 12.5 thickness. But yeah, it's a great, great piece. GMT function, you know, it's really cool for anyone who travels a lot and you may be on a little more of a budget, or you just want something you can kind of beat up a little bit more. You're gonna fit the right watch right here with the Tudor Pepsi. We are asking $3,500 for this, complete set, box papers, everything. I like these GMTs from Tudor, and I just like GMTs overall. I think it's fun tracking a couple time zones at once, but yeah, great, great piece, especially if you're getting into your first watches or if you're just trying to build onto the collection. Can't go wrong with the Tudor. I'm really curious to know what people really want to hear about that Sprite. I obviously love it, but yeah, it's a great, great selection of watches right here. Kind of got it all over the world as far as, you know, entry-level Rolex with some more of a Datejust, getting a Royal Oak in there, and then obviously a heavy hitter GMT, and then an entry-level GMT. So let me know what you guys think. Which one would you pick up from this lot, or, you know, anything you actually want to pick up? Let us know. We can get you anything. So thank you again for watching Showroom Showcase. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you next time.
Amazing, amazing. I don't know if I can pull it off. I don't have the wrist size. I'm right about a 7 1/4, but this thing here is surprisingly light. I mean, I know it's titanium, but still something of this size, magnitude, you think would still have some heft to it. So this is the that new 50 millimeter deep sea challenge that they came out with. So just to give you guys an idea, this right here is the Sky Dweller, right? Sky Dweller sits at 42 millimeters, okay? I mean, look at that. Look at, and I thought my Sky Dweller was big. Seriously, that's massive.
Thick boy.
Yeah. Hey, is this a real box?
Well, hell, if you have to ask me, probably not.
I don't know.
You have to ask me, something's wrong with it. I already know. What do you got? Let me see. Does it feel weird to open? Do you smell it?
It smells.
It smells weird?
Pretty strong.
Oh no, bro. Look at this. That's the first sign of trouble. That's crap right away. Oh. It smells like straight Lysol. No. First thing to look at is the bottom of the pillow. That's like the first thing I go to. Everybody has their own go-to thing.
Yep.
They'll try to believe that they can see the stamps and whatever. I just go straight for the pillow because the back of the pillow, this is quick tell. Not to mention the smell, not to mention this really cheesy, it's just cheap foam. It's not the way it works. God, it stinks so bad.
Yeah, that's what got me, is like the way it
you could air out a whole freaking house with this crap.
I felt it was awesome.
You leave this in your house for a couple hours, all the bugs will die. I call this the Hermes effect. You see the H that's kind of hidden in there and it's really wide, like Hermes. The way this pillow is put together, it has like a brackets that run along inside. The way it's folded over in there, and then you see how it's got the edge, and you see how nicely it's folded over. Look at this. Look at the difference. You see, there's no H, right? There's no Hermes, that's what I call it. You can clearly see the quality is like, this was put together in China for sure. This is not put together in Switzerland. Even if Rolex had it done in China, it would be way better than this.
Man, my gut was
Color's
right.
off as well, right?
Yeah.
That, when I felt it, smelled.
Wait, where's the real box? This one?
Yeah.
All right. I can smell what China's cooking.
All right, so what are y'all gonna do with this box? Yeah?
Man, trash it.
Throw it away. You know what we like to do with them is whenever a dealer says we need box papers, we just give it to them. Real talk. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. So this is just obviously a very old lady's Rolex.
Extremely very old. And what we were told was 1972.
72. So it looks like it's got a replaced bracelet. It's aftermarket.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an original bracelet. Diamonds are all aftermarket. It's not Rolex. Are you just looking to get it fixed?
No, I'll get it, sell it.
Okay. The only thing I would need to do is just open it.
Okay.
Can you give me a few minutes?
Yeah.
All right, let me just check it.
I finally got the watch. It's an August 2022 card. You're helping me a lot, man. So I really want to sell something to you.
Okay.
So let me know how much you could pay for that, and then consign, and then straight off buy off, you know.
Let me.
This is like a personal watch. So ideally, if you could sell it to your retail client or Asia, I'd be down to like consign it with you, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Let me. I'm just in a meeting now. Let me
Okay.
let me just check and I'll get back to you.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Of course. This thing's super old school.
I know you're busy, but you know, man.
What's happening?
Brand new 2022. What's buy a consign?
Consign that at 22,000. Buy for like 18.5.
Boom, boom. Brand new from the AD. So just so you guys know, buy price on those is a little bit under retail right now. Yeah, so there's not much money to be made, but if you want to consign, maximize your profits, then we can help.
If I bought something like this, I'd probably want to pay
$1,500.
not even, probably like 1,300, and I don't even know where I'm going from there.
Aftermarket dial.
Yeah, it's just the ladies. It's not even a quick set, you know. So it's
super old.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's probably a stronger buyer out there than me on this, you know. But I'll buy it, but I'm not going to be very strong on it. Just aftermarket bracelet, dial, bezel.
Oh man, bracelet too.
Non-quick, yeah. Everything's aftermarket. Pretty much, you're just getting a case and movement at that point, and like, what's that worth? The diamonds aren't really worth anything. Everything's being aftermarket. The only thing that's really left that's Rolex is the case and the movement. Everything else is just
The case and the movement.
that's basically all you have. That's Rolex. Everything else is pretty much aftermarket. The market for this watch is very low for being how aftermarket it is. I mean, I'm not going to be the strongest buyer on stuff like this. I'll be honest with you. Like, if I'm going to make an offer, it's probably going to be, unfortunately, it's going to be around at like $1,000. I know it's not much, but it is what it is for it's vintage. It's not even a quick set model. This is a non-quick model. My market for this is going to be very small.
Where else do you think I can give it a good try for a better money?
I feel like everybody's going to be at that price point, but you're welcome to shop it around town. I mean, if you can't sell it for more, you're welcome to bring it back. And my offer is good for you. Typically, I usually tell people my offers are valid for 24 to 48 hours. And of course, if you ever want to just fix it, we can fix it too, because this is obviously broken right here. For us, this is a very easy fix.
Yes.
The way I'm looking at it is I'm buying the movement and the case, which is not expensive for a watch like that.
Then let me give it a try and see. And if not, I'm gonna call you back.
You're welcome to. Do you have my
I
phone?
don't have your card.
Okay, I'll give you my card. You're welcome to call me back. And hey, if we're close, I might jump up a little bit.
Okay.
But you know, if somebody offers you $1,500, I would say just take it.